We are live and in living color. Welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling, where we interview special guest. You're not a geese, are you, Ken?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, special guests each and every week from different walks of life in the reselling world. Here we'll discuss the highs and lows of reselling and dive into great conversation. We are positive that you're going to hear something that's going to help you become a better reseller. I'm your host, Ray, and I'm joined with a guest, one of my good friends, one of the reoccurring people on basically everything that we do here on the Nashville Flippers, is our boy, many monikers, Ken, aka sskpromo, aka Mr. Bill, aka Delusions of Grandeur, aka a Luchador, aka Seasonal Santa. Am I missing anything, Ken?
W.R. Hart.
W.R. Hart?
Ken. Yeah.
Okay.
Poop Shoe Ken. Recently, Forsythia Smith came up.
For what? What did you say?
Forsythia. Forsythia Smith.
Is that a flower?
It is. That's like a flowering bush sort of thing. And there's, something about where you can always expect 3 more snows after the Forsythia bloom. And, I'm not a big winter guy. Not a big winter guy.
So they're saying that you are a Forsythia bush? A bush that blooms?
Well, I don't really remember how it came up. It just, all of a sudden there'll be a new moniker, a new nickname, a new whatever, and I'll throw it on my, title below for a week or two and see what sticks. And so, mainly sskpromo. Mr. Bill is the main names that I go
moniker.
by.
But guys, if you want to follow Ken and all of his aliases, all of his contact information is down in the description below. He's also the co-host of the Reseller Clickbait podcast, where you can find each and every Monday on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts, with your co-host Corey, aka Pops, with Grams and Pops vintage.
Yeah, Pops. Yes.
So shout out to Corey. The I got like halfway through your show this week, and you guys were talking about the eclipse.
Yes.
So how was your experience? Was that pre-watching the eclipse, right?
Yeah, it was the day before. We usually record on Sundays, and then the podcast comes out on Mondays, and the eclipse was that Monday evening.
Okay.
So
in your neck of the woods, you were in the path of totality.
Yes.
How was that?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. So we just got to hang out in the backyard. All the family came over. We had a big event. Yes. We made we built a fire in the fire pit. We roasted hot dogs and just had, all the macaroni salad, baked beans, all the general cookout fare. Just hung out in the yard and watched, through our glasses, and, as the whole thing went across. And probably one of the coolest things that I've ever seen was when it went to totality, and you could, it was amazing how if you put those glasses on, the solar glasses, you couldn't see anything anywhere, but you could see the sun and you could see it moving across. When it went to totality, you could no longer see it. You had to take the glasses off. Just absolutely an amazing experience. It was eerie. It was actually a little bit spooky. That kind of the haze, the different coloring before it went to totality, and then
it got cold.
It did. It got cold and a little breezy, and then it was all of a sudden, it was dark, and then just bing, when that moon moved across, it was just the light, and it was just like the brightest. It's like staring at these LEDs I have right now in front of me. It was that bright, intense white light that came off, and just a fun, and people all over the neighborhood were cheering. You could hear cheering. You could hear fireworks off. When it went to totality, you could see people were blowing off fireworks in the neighborhood and around. Just a a super fun day to hang out with the family, first of all, and then have that event. So I'll probably, unless I travel someplace, I'll probably never get to see another one. It'll be too many
Did you
years.
see the last one 7 years ago?
I did not. We weren't in any sort of an area of totality. I remember, see, you could see partial. You could see partial of it, and it just wasn't that. And so it was neat to go outside and see what was going on, but it just wasn't that amazing experience that the full totality was. And how fortunate we were to be in that area that just didn't have to travel. I know you traveled. You had to travel. How far was your trip to Kentucky?
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Ken. But
okay.
Like you said, if you guys are listening or watching, and I think the next one is like 2044 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it is coming through the United States. But if you guys ever get a chance to watch a solar eclipse, wherever it is, do yourself a favor and go. The last 7 years, the path of totality came through Nashville, and just having that experience was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's a once in a lifetime experience, but then you get to witness it again. And I'm like, well, wherever it is, let's go. Cause it was so cool the first time. Let's go. So I drove, my wife and I, we took the day off. So from my job and her job, we took the day off. And we went to Paducah, Kentucky, which is right over the border of Tennessee, and it's like the tip of Kentucky to where it's like if you go a little more north, you hit like Illinois, so it's like right there. So it's like northwest,
western corner. Gotcha.
West Kentucky. So it's only supposed to take you 2 hours to get there, Ken.
Okay.
So I didn't plan this as best as I should have, which I thought we were doing good by leaving the house at 8 a.m. and getting there with plenty of time to get there, right?
Yeah.
It took us 5 hours to get there.
Just all of the eclipse traffic?
The
driving
traffic
that way?
Was insane, Ken. Bumper to bumper traffic all the way up. I don't ever want to drive for the rest of the month. Like my patience was shot. It was shot getting up there, and we got there and with like 30 minutes before the totality time.
Oh, really?
Because we were worried. We weren't even going to make it.
I saw that you were watching from a Walmart parking lot. Was that the final destination?
That
or
was
you
the
just
final
decided you were gonna
destination.
stop? Okay.
That was the final destination. Was finally we're like, okay, let's just camp out right here at the Walmart parking lot. There's no trees or anywhere, and with 30 minutes to spare, it was already like the shadow was slowly creeping in. You could tell we were like right on, like fighting the clock, because like you said, like the outside it started getting a little eerie, a little yellow. Yeah. And we're like, oh man, we're not going to make it. But we were close enough to where it's like if we had to pull over to the side of the road, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, man, we left with plenty of time, and we're like, we only have 30 minutes to spare. It was insane, but we did it and we saw it. So I got energized just to see it, got hyped up.
Yes.
The eclipse endorphins, I guess. So we went to go.
Definitely was that. Yes.
Yeah. So we hadn't had any lunch or anything like that because we were stuck in traffic. So we stopped at a Texas Roadhouse. We ate there. And then we started driving back, and it took us another 5 hours to get back.
Everybody heading home. Yeah. That's our town. They had expected for the population in our county to double that day with the amount of people that were coming in. All of the hotels were booked.
Yeah.
Where I live, kind of across the street, there's a big field, and then way off in the distance, there's kind of a major highway, double 4-lane highway or whatever. And during the time of the eclipse, you could see all of the traffic was just stopped. Everybody pulled over to the side of the road where they were and just hung out and watched. It was an amazing. I can't say enough. And yes, I was thinking at first, oh, eclipse, this will be neat, this will be cool, but I can't see why people would travel, to my town or any of the surrounding towns. It seemed like there was a lot better places that you could go check it out. But I can see, I know, I understand now after witnessing it why one would drive and fight the traffic to get to see it. And so whenever the next one is that comes in the US, if it's within a decent distance, something that's not, major travel plans, I definitely would go see that again.
Yeah. I think next time, and I looked into getting a hotel the day before, and they were all booked up. So it's like, oh, we can't do that. But knowing what I know now, the next time, which would be, I don't know how many years down the road, 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
I'll probably still be able to, rock and roll 20 years down the road.
I'll probably have to take the senior bus by that time, maybe one of those senior trips, the local senior club or whatever. Hey, we're all going to take a trip to.
Well, hey, 20 years down the road, I expect flying cars, Ken. I've been promised flying cars since I was a kid, and there's still no flying cars. So by the next eclipse, I expect a flying car, so we can get there quickly.
Exactly, man. I hadn't thought about that. My spirits are lifted now. I thought, I might miss this in my rapidly aging body, that I'm not going to make it. And flying cars.
We need flying cars.
Take a second and ponder that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, with modern technology and medical advances, Ken, I mean, I expect to be at least 80% cyborg by the time I'm 70 years old anyways.
Even
just
better.
Put my consciousness into like a robot body and I'm good to go.
I would do that in a heartbeat. I'm all about
they're already working on it. What is it? The Tesla guy, he's doing that Neuralink thing?
Yeah. Yes.
So
see, I'll volunteer. Where can I sign up for this?
I think you can sign up.
You can sign up
somewhere.
That.
Go to like neuralink.com. You never want to be the first to try anything, though, Ken.
Agreed.
You just never want to do like the. I don't. It's not even in beta. I don't even know what you would call it before, like DECA or whatever.
You want to be in the third or fourth group at least.
Yeah.
Unless the AI takes over and becomes self-aware before we get a chance, because we know that's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. I've seen all the movies. I know
all the movies.
AI's going to, those were just, visions. It was prophecy, Terminator, Back to the Future.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie The Creator?
Hot Tub Time Machine. I have not seen The Creator.
You know which one I'm talking about, though? Which movie?
I do not.
So it's got Denzel Washington's son playing the main character, the creator.
Okay.
And so he works for like the government somehow, like CIA or whatever. So it's in the future. And AI became self-aware, same thing.
Yes.
And they bombed like Los Angeles with like nukes.
Okay.
So because it's the same thing, like the human race is like like a virus and whatnot, right? So they became self-aware. They started building robots, the AI, to look like humans. Okay. And so his job was to infiltrate like the robots and the AI to find out what they're working on, like a secret weapon. So his job was to find the main guy and find what the secret weapon is. And spoiler alert, he ends up falling in love with the girl, which ends up being like the main person, and the secret weapon was like an AI robot kid.
Okay, so why do they always have to spoil all the good like sci-fi movies with some sort of like a love story? I just want to. I want to see robots. I want to see laser guns. I want to see, and then there's always some love interest that gets in trouble, gets herself in trouble, and the hero has to take away from his mission. He almost completed the mission, but now he's got to save her.
I think it's because of the juxtaposition. Yes. Juxtaposition of like the hard robot thing to like the human element of love and what makes us human. So maybe that's what's coming. I don't know.
You think it's just? I think it's just so that you can take a date there to the movie and she might enjoy it.
Oh, for sure. That
might have something to do with it as
well.
My
wife hates sci-fi movies. Like we went to go see Godzilla and King Kong. She's like, I'll go, but I'm only going to eat the popcorn. She fell asleep like a third of the way through the movie.
I love movie popcorn. Yeah, I agree. Jill is not a sci-fi person. When they went to release, whenever it was, when they re-released the first 3 Star Wars movies, they kind of
back in the 90s, like 97. And I remember seeing those when I was a kid, and they redid like some of the scenes with like new CG.
Yes. And we went, and I was super excited. And we went on like opening night. She had never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Oh,
before.
What an awesome experience.
And there was, people were there. People were dressed up. There was a lot of, Jedis, that were there to see the movie. And we watch the movie and it's over. And it's just like, oh man, to me, it was like, oh, this is a great experience that I remember, they were made 20 years ahead of time. And I had already seen them. I've seen every Star Wars movie like 500 times. And it gets done and we're leaving. I'm like, huh? Yeah. She's like, that's it. What I don't get it. And I'm like, so I didn't take her to see any of the other ones. I left her home when Empire came out and when Return of the Jedi came out.
Oh man.
I think
she never got the payoff of Darth Vader.
She didn't care. So yeah, the only other sci-fi movie that I think I took her to, she almost got me beat up. So it was a Star Trek movie. The one
she
Star
almost
Trek.
got you beat up. Did someone try to fight you?
Well, no, but I was fearing for my life because we're at the it was Star Trek Generations. Are you a Star Trek fan?
I'm not. I'm a Star Wars guy, but not a Star Trek fan.
Okay. It was the one, spoiler alert, it's the one where Captain Kirk died, right?
Okay. Which so Picard, Captain Kirk?
The original Captain Kirk, William Shatner.
William Shatner. Okay.
William Shatner.
Mike Myers mask, William Shatner.
Yes, exactly. You are correct. I thought I used to have a Mike Myers mask back up there. Back up here behind Ray Nashville.
There you go.
In the pile. But Star Trek fans, they're loyal. They take this seriously, the same as Star Wars fans. It gets to the scene. There's Picard. There's Captain Kirk, and Captain Kirk dies. And the theater is silent. I mean, you couldn't hear any. It was just silent. Everybody's like, "Oh no!" And all you hear is Jill go. She was laughing at William Shatner. He's not the most stellar actor. Yeah. And so he dies, and she just goes, and you could just feel the whole crowd turn.
It's like turn. It's like, what in the world?
They're like, can't you control her? This is Captain Kirk. And so we had to sneak out the back entrance, walk around the building to the cars so that we were safe. But love sci-fi movies.
I could talk sci-fi movies all day long, especially time travel sci-fi movies.
Yes.
Did you ever see the movie The Looper with Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, yeah. Very good movie. Yeah. Good one. That one's one of those ones that kind of you have to keep up.
Yeah. The only sci-fi movie that really I still have to like, the movie Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie. Do you ever see that one?
I don't think I've seen Tenet.
Oh, Ken. It's talk about time travel.
Sci-fi fiction. Interesting. I
You
will.
have to
Well,
watch
I
that
will
one.
put it on my list. I will
Yes.
put it on my. I'm going to
So
write
that
it down.
actor is the same actor that's in The Creator.
Okay.
Something Washington.
Gotcha.
But Tenet is like
John David Washington.
yes. Oh, I can't even
Is it
explain. I cannot explain it to you, Ken.
Is it part of the same? I mean, is it affiliated at all with the creator, the tenant, and the
No,
creator?
it's
They're
not.
just the same guy. Okay.
But it is a Christopher Nolan movie. So, you know, he did Inception and he did Interstellar. So,
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
yeah. So, you know, like they're going to be like super
Okay.
confusing.
So, and it's Tenet, Tenet. I was thinking tenant, like, you know, somebody that lives in an apartment building or something.
Yeah, it's Tenet.
So Tenet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where can
I
you watch
wrote
it? Does
that
it
down.
say where you can watch the? Because I might even watch it tonight.
Let me see.
Or at least try it.
Let me see.
Yeah. But guys, this is a reselling podcast, so we will get into some of the reselling 20 minutes into the podcast.
You can download it on, well, it looks like it's available just about every place.
But you have to like
Amazon
buy
Video,
it.
Google Play Movies, Apple TV. Yeah, it looks like it said you can buy Tenet on
No free to stream
or
anywhere.
rent it on Amazon Video, Apple TV, Google Play Movie, Microsoft Store. I'm not seeing that. Is it available on? It looks like
maybe Hulu Premium.
It has been made available for stream on Netflix.
I'll find it. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah.
But Ken,
yes,
we're like 3 weeks away from the Nashville meetup.
Right back there. I've been sporting my poster every time I can. Been showing it. Yes. I know Jill and I we're super excited. This is just going to be fun. It's going to be a cool event. I've never been to Nashville.
Never,
Jill
ever
has been to
in your
Nashville.
whole life?
No, never been there. Jill has been several times, and we have friends in the area.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of going to do, visit some friends and then partake in all of the meetup stuff, as much as we can. We're going to come in a day or two early and probably leave a day after everything is all over. Just to kind of take it all in and get to see some of the sights as well in Nashville.
What are some of the things you're looking forward to, like in Nashville, that you want to do, Ken? Not necessarily like the meetup stuff, but it's like, I just want to make sure that you get the best experience possible while you're here.
Just not having seen anything before, like Music Row, things like that in Tennessee, in Nashville, all of the things that the popular, I guess, destinations,
like the places.
The touristy destination places that you see, just, be in that downtown. I see, people that do lives from downtown Nashville, and it looks like, it's what they call it, Nash Vegas sometimes. It's all glitzy and glammy and lighted. I want to see that. Just to go around and see all of those sites and see some of the places that Jill has been and, has told me about and hang out. We have a friend, one of our friends. Did you ever watch the show The Real World? That was on
did.
MTV?
I know who you're talking about because Jill has mentioned it to me. So
John Brennan, who was on the second season in like Los Angeles or something like that. He's in the area. He's getting his music career back going, and we're planning to hook up with him unless he has something like all of a sudden come up in his schedule. We're planning to do that, and just some other friends in the area. So overall, you always hear about the food. There's good food down there. I want to check,
fantastic food.
People keep talking about this Hattie B's. Is that right? Hattie B's.
Yeah.
And, want to do
of
that.
You're going to love Monell's. They got a great macaroni and cheese there.
Oh, see, I'm all about macaroni and cheese for sure. I'm not sure if it'll be good as Kraft macaroni and cheese, but
Hattie B's has a macaroni and cheese that's got gosh, what is that orange pepper? It's got like a little orange pepper. I don't know.
Orange pepper. Let me see.
It's like peppercini. Let me see. The sides. What are the sides? Pimento mac and
Pimento
cheese.
macaroni and cheese. Yep, I just pulled it up
Yes.
here. Hattie B's pimento macaroni and cheese. See, I will try that. I will
It's
try
so good. That's what I'm saying. Ken, you need to do everywhere you go, you need to try a mac and cheese.
mac and
You need
cheese
to have
dish.
either me or Jill record it and be like, "My name is Ken. This is mac and cheese review, Hattie B's." And you just take,
Yes.
like how like what is it? Portnoy? He does the pizza reviews.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
goes,
you can do
yeah,
the mac. You can be the mac and cheese guy.
the whole Nashville mac and cheese experience. Maybe that's what I would call it. The
Yeah,
Nashville mac and cheese experience, as served up by sskpromo, Mr. Bill, and you do a whole series on that. I like
there you
this.
go.
See, I like
There
the
you
way you
go.
think, Ray.
Since you're
The way
already
you
going to be
think.
here,
That's right. I might
just
as
try
well.
mac and cheese everywhere. Go to a random
Partake.
gas station, try mac and cheese.
Gas station mac and cheese.
Hey, listen, I was just telling Angie Resells. One of my first jobs was making biscuits at a convenience store. And so like they had like hot food, like hot plates and stuff, because it was like a little like out of a little, like in a non-populated area and there wasn't a lot to eat. And it would be packed, and we had some fire mac and cheese because the lady that used to work there, she made everything by scratch, fried chicken, everything. So everything was like phenomenal. But the mac and cheese was awesome. So you'd be surprised. Some of those convenience stores in the South, they got the best food.
I've had some, going down when we were in Tennessee last year. I think where we have some, we stopped at like a little place. Well, we went to Buc-ee's when we were down that way, and they have like everything at Buc-ee's.
Everything. You all right, Ken?
We had a ghost or something.
You hearing voices?
What the heck? I don't know what was going on back behind me. There's nothing back behind me, so
I'll keep an eye out for sure.
I appreciate it.
But I'm excited for you and Jill to come for sure. And again, one of the benefits about this meetup is that it's a very a la carte. So you don't necessarily have to do everything that's on the list. You can go off and do your own thing if you want. But if you want to come and do one thing or some things, however you want to do it, and there's still opportunity for people that are listening to come. But this is the process where I'm getting everything together. The lanyard should be coming in this week, Ken, and there are top notch.
I love it. That is cool. Yeah, just that, especially with it being not having one like particular like social function where it's that a la carte, like you say, to be able to identify somebody that's there as a reseller. How many so far? I know on the Facebook page, I was directing people to the Facebook page today. How many people are expected or have said they're coming?
Well, as of right now, and I don't know if you saw my update video, Ken, about the meetup.
I did.
And I made it particularly clear that the people that are for sure going have to mark yes on here. So we have 53 confirmed yeses.
Nice.
Which confirmed. I feel like there will be more than that. Maybe some spouses that don't have a Facebook, that want to come or whatever. Realistically, I probably expect close to 70 people.
Okay.
I think. Which, one of the concerns that Angie actually brought this up when we were talking earlier today or yesterday about the restaurants. She was like, are you going to call restaurants and make sure that there's, plenty of seating for like randomly 50 people to come in? And the good thing when I was doing this is that everywhere that we're going, except for maybe exception one restaurant, it's very like the Hattie B's, for instance. You start in a line before you even get into the restaurant. You're in a line. You order on the counter, and then you go sit down. It's not like party of 5, party of 10, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like like what do you want? You order it on the cashier, and then you go sit down. And there's plenty of seating everywhere. And then Monell's is family style, so each table sits like 20 to 30 people.
Oh, okay.
So it's like party of 50 or whatever. It's like they'll just split us up into. Because every time I go, I sit with like 20 other strangers,
Okay, I see. So it's like that. They just serve up the whole table.
The whole table
at one time.
You don't order.
Whatever.
It's like they just give you what they're serving that day.
What they're having that day.
What they're having.
What is it? Just kind of like a meat and potatoes sort of place. You're going to get maybe some chicken, mashed potatoes,
correct.
a vegetable, that sort of thing. Okay.
Mac and cheese.
I like that.
You know.
Well, that definitely, you know, then brings the whole group together even more. Correct. Because you're kind of forced to talk. Not forced. That's not the best word, but you know what I mean.
Encouraged.
Kind of forced to sit. Yeah, with all the rest of the folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that because I'm all about being social and being, you know, meeting up with new people. I'm pretty sure most of the people that are coming, they knew that I was coming and they're excited to come and get the exclusive Nashville meetup headshot. That will be
I'm looking forward to that.
Coming out. I think next week. Well, I've already done the photographs. Jill and I did the photographs next week or last week.
Can we get like a little teaser? Can we get like a real close-up shot of like your nose or something?
I am, you know what? I have them. Let me see if I can do something like that really quick. Where's the camera? But I'm thinking next weekend on my,
your outfit reminds me of like the banana Laffy Taffy, Ken.
But this is my whatnot yellow. You know, I knew we'd probably be talking a little bit about whatnot. Yeah. You know, like Tiger Woods has the
the Sunday
red.
Sunday red, wears.
Yeah. My whatnot yellow. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'll give you this much. I'll give you this much right here.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So
was not expecting that.
That's what you're getting right there. I do have two versions. I'm gonna go ahead, Ray, right here, live on the air.
Do you have like exclusive, like numbered to 10?
Well, they're not numbered to 10. They'll be basically available. That's why I'm kind of getting numbers so I know how many to have with me because it is an exclusive to the event. Mm-hmm. If you are there and if you come up and we meet and we see, I will sign you a headshot right there. Much like when I did the Cincinnati headshots.
That's a good one too.
For the reshoot. Ray, I'm gonna ask your permission right now. Is it okay for me to use your logo? Of
course.
The one logo. Because you know, in these I had talked with John, I had the Reseller Rally logo on there. And
do you have the actual file or the JPEG?
No, I'll have you if you can shoot that over to me.
Yeah, for sure.
That way I have a good quality one, but I'm getting those produced. I'll probably do a sneak peek next week. Yeah, because next week, then the following week is the week of the event. Next week on my Ken versus 10 show that I do on Wednesdays, 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. I might unveil the headshot for the 2024 Nashville's newest tradition. Reseller meetup in Nashville. So,
Lord willing, I'm gonna try to do this next year too. So there'll be a new logo, there'll be a new color scheme. You know, everything every year is gonna be something different. So everyone will get like that print. We'll get a version of that print on like hard stock, numbered to a particular signed and numbered. So stay tuned for that because that'll be cool. And then the lanyard itself is going to be awesome. So it's going to be front and back. And of course, shout out to the people over at My Reseller Genie and Vendu, which have been kindly enough to sponsor some of this event, Ken. So that kind of like helps me with the price on some of the items that we're going to be giving away. And it's awesome. Like My Reseller Genie is going to be giving us My Reseller Genie like IKEA bags, like the white ones that say My Reseller Genie.
Those are nice. Those are I have one that I got at
really
at the reseller the Reseller Rally, and very nice, good heavyweight bags. I have one of those. I have two of them actually because Jill and I both got one. But yeah, Vendu and My Reseller Genie, great sponsors in our community. They're just always there for everybody. And then they have great products. You know, you go over to My Reseller Genie and use code Nashville Flippers, you can save 15% off.
I like this
on like your first month or something like that, or first, I forget how long it is.
Your first month. And
yeah.
Ken, I'm going to make a breaking announcement to the people here, talking about one of our sponsors, which I think they don't mind me saying this, but April 16th on Vendu, they are doing a new integration, which this is a great segue. They are now going to be able to import your eBay items to the Whatnot marketplace.
Really?
Yes.
That is big news.
And vice versa.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For them. Spoiler alert in case Ray's blowing it.
I mean, they've asked me, that's one of the reasons why they really want to, like work with us. And I'm going to be doing like a dedicated videos and dedicated TikToks they want me to do. So I'm going to be working with them. So
very cool.
Shout out to Deanna, which is going to be the representative for Vendu at the event. And that's huge news because now all your eBay stuff can now be easily imported to Whatnot and vice versa. And if something sells on Whatnot, it'll get delisted on eBay.
Really?
And vice versa.
Out of your like marketplace store on Whatnot. Okay.
Correct.
Very cool. That's exciting. That's exciting right there.
So that kind of shows like the legitimacy of like Whatnot being like a marketplace. So one of the things that I consistently sell are those Ric Flair figures.
Woo!
Because I just have them on the marketplace and they sell.
Yeah.
So, and I've sold plenty of stuff that's on there in the buy in the bin and the buy it now
in the bin. You know what? Jill used to always talk about. She's I got this out of Ray's bin, or I got this out of this person's bin, and I'm like, what the? Okay, but apparently I don't understand Whatnot because she was really watching. Well, I always knew what Whatnot was, and I'd watched a little bit. She get out of the bin. I'm like, I don't get it. How are they selling this stuff? And then it's like, bing. Oh, the buy it now.
The UAC.
I had an UAC moment right there for sure. Exactly. So, I actually sold something on Whatnot the other day. I had a notification. It's like, oh, wow, this is cool. I would.
And you're buying it now in your marketplace.
In my marketplace, yeah. Which I was like, oh wait, those I had listed, stuff in there in my buy it now for the show to have. Affordable things for people to buy.
Correct.
When they were watching the show to maybe get the better shipping or whatever. I wasn't expecting, it never even dawned on me that something might sell when I wasn't having a show. And so it's like, oh man, I would have probably asked more for that item if I weren't trying to help the viewers or help the buyers. But hey, a sale's a sale. Apparently I was good with that price anyway. So
yeah.
And so yeah, that was cool. It was neat to get that notification and send that out.
I don't think the only thing about Whatnot's marketplace is that if let's say you do a Google search for a particular item, it won't show up on the search.
Yeah.
Once that happens, I think it's going to be a game changer.
Oh yeah. Yes. Once that platform is held in the same regard as an eBay or a Poshmark or an Amazon seller or something like that. Once, they're, I don't want to use the word legitimate because they are legitimate.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But
I completely understand what you're saying. But Ken, so great segue and shout out to Vendu for doing that. I think that's awesome thing because a lot of people, they're bringing over their stuff anyways right now. And now with the click of a button, you can do the same.
Yes.
So I will be their guinea pig. They actually gave me early access, but I haven't even done anything with it.
Yeah.
So I need.
Now, didn't we just discuss earlier, Ray, that you didn't want to be the first? I think that was getting a chip in your brain or putting your consciousness in AI.
Yeah, man. But I don't want to be. You never want to be the first to do something.
Here you are, first up on Vendu.
I know,
doing the Whatnot crossover.
Yeah. So. But shout out to them for sure.
Yes.
And I think the code's going to be Nashville Flippers. So if you guys want to do that, you'll get like a percentage off. But, so Ken, now that we're talking a little bit about Whatnot, so you're new to the game, but so you've only had how many shows now? Official shows?
Well, I I guess official shows. I've had two. I've had two shows, but they're okay. The first one was obviously your first show where you get, you've kind of built it up, you've put it out there, and you get all your friends, all your family, all your supporters, all the people want to come and help support you on the first show. And you get, some decent sales. We did really good. Jill and I on that first show, which went by quickly. We were on like 2 hours or something like that. And it's like, oh no, we were thinking, oh, we'd do about an hour. And then the second show was part of the US raid across the US.
Yes.
Travel the US raid that Flipping Mimi, shout out to Flipping Mimi.
Shout out to Flipping Mimi.
Jen's Multiverse, Paul Philly Flipper, Ali P, Hanger 909, all of those folks that had a hand in that. But we participated in that after only having done one Whatnot show. And were very, very flattered, very honored to be invited to that. But man, 20 minutes, the quickest 20 minutes
flew by.
It was just
like a blink of an eye.
It was we had a pretty nice setup for our area. We didn't go out on location, but we had a pretty cool setup, and we're trying to tell some stuff about our area and maybe sell a few things. And I did sell a few things and had a lot of really nice support from people out of the bin, and that was great. But the 20 minutes were just gone. So I'm looking forward to the next kind of regular show, something that's not the first one where you have those kind of nervous jitters. You're not really sure where to look on the screen. I'm still dealing with that. Where to look on the screen, how to read the chat, how to keep up, how to get an auction started, those sorts of things.
Takes practice for sure.
Yeah. And so I'm looking to do that and just be more at my own pace, be natural. Jill and I are going to do the next show together, which is, this show comes out on Thursday, be tomorrow, Friday.
Oh,
Friday the 12th, I think is the date. Yeah, Friday the 12th. We're planning on 5 p.m. I've got that show up, and I don't have any of my items and stuff in yet, but I'm looking forward because I do have those realistic expectations of, the first show you had a lot of support. That second show was that raid train that was, I'm not going to get 93 people in my third Whatnot show. I know that.
But I'll tell you what, Ken, that was a good opportunity for you to grow. Doing those giveaways and having those people be at least aware that you're there, especially being such a new seller. And that's something that, you're 2 shows in. Second show, you were on like a huge raid train, which you gain a lot of followers, which I think that's awesome. And like one of the big things about Whatnot is the community, sellers supporting sellers.
Yes.
And, who knows how many other raid trains you'll be on, and you'll quickly, climb up the ranks and have people that just enjoy you and they want to buy from you. And if you bring good stuff, they'll, it's a no brainer.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, to growing it. I know it's a lot of effort. I've been appreciative, Ray, of your last few episodes, the one where you had Jen and Paul on talking like kind of the truth about Whatnot, and then the 2 Terrys with Evolving Farmhouse and Noonybird, just learning. And because right now I'm in that phase of sucking up as much knowledge as I can about Whatnot. And trying to get out of my own way of overthinking stuff and just do it, get some stuff up there and just do the show and kind of build on it, from there. That's one of my biggest things is, overthinking stuff, trying to make things perfect, up to the point where I think about it so much I never get it done. And so we're just
that's a great
jumping
point,
in and going to try it.
A lot of people, and the past 2 episodes have been Whatnot related, and this will be the third. But for the people that are listening, that are thinking, man, I don't want to, this is the 3rd episode Ray's had about Whatnot. Yeah. Should I try Whatnot? Should I not try Whatnot? In your perspective, Ken, and you're kind of a little bit late to the game, but you can always jump on at any opportunity. Like, what was it that finally you were like, you know what, I'm going to do it? I'm going to do it. And then you're learning as you go, which I think is the perfect way to learn, because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn from those mistakes, because especially in reselling, it's going to cost you money. So you're going to try to make as few mistakes as possible. But for your perspective, Ken, you finally got you finally jumped in the pool.
Yes.
What made you want to jump in the pool?
Well, I want to back up a little bit to when Whatnot first kind of came out. You know, when Tim over the years introduced it to the whole world, as as he likes to say. You know, I got on board then and filled out the application and such, and they wanted high profile content creators that would help to build their brand, that would get big shows, that would get big audiences. And I understand that Whatnot is a business in itself, and they want to grow the same way that I want to grow, that you want to grow. And my first application was just met with crickets. I didn't hear anything. And so for the longest time, I was the anti Whatnot guy. I was in
the same boat, Ken. I was in the same boat. If you go back and listen to an episode that I had with Jen, and she was screaming from the rooftops, and I was like, I don't know. You know, people lose money and like all this stuff. Like, that's not a chance that I'm willing to take.
It was, and I was that when it's all of those reasons. I don't want to. Why would you ever go buy something and sell it for, you know, a third of the price, you know, or more of what you could get for it on eBay? And then every show that everybody was putting out in the YouTube site that was Whatnot, it's like, I'm turning these guys off. I'm tired of hearing about it. But then here recently, Jill, my girlfriend, for folks that know, Kacherka 25. You'll see her in a lot of the chats and a lot of the on Whatnot and stuff. She started watching Whatnot and seeing all these folks, following you, following Paul, following Jen, following all the people, you know, Angie resells, and then branching out and finding all of these other people and really enjoying it. She's like, hey, you know, you should watch this. Oh, you should go see Ray's doing a show on Saturday night, you know, go watch that. And he's, you know, doing these electronics and stuff. And I started to watch it kind of with just that hesitancy of, oh yeah, these guys are buying these things and they're just dumping off junk that they can't sell on eBay. And which is another common, I guess, perception about Whatnot is that people are just dumping off the stuff that they can't sell. There is some of that for sure. You see that out there. But I started to enjoy the community, the folks. It's a different community than the YouTube community, I guess you would say, which, you know, I'm a small part in that. It does seem like people are more helpful towards one another. Every question I've had so far, whether I was doing a live or jumping in, the community is just boom, boom, right there to help you. It's like everybody wants everybody to grow. Everybody wants everybody to do well. Even if you're in a competing category. And so I started watching and just enjoying Whatnot as a buyer, as an entertainment outlet, and then thinking, I can do that. I think I'm a personable guy. I'm a people person. I like to be live, and if I can sell a few things and make a couple of dollars at the same time when I'm getting to interact with, you know, with my friends and new folks, I would like to try that. And then there was one thing that really made me, it kind of bing, like the light went off. And man, I hate to give the guy credit. I hate to give I will say partial credit, but to Paul, Philly Flipper. I was watching one of his little Instagram stories that came up that day, and he was at some yard sales, and he was showing some of the stuff that he had bought at the yard sales. And then later that evening, on a Saturday evening, he was doing a show, and he was already selling this stuff. And so I saw what he paid for it at the yard sales, and I saw what he was selling it for, which was still maybe half price or less than what he could have listed it for. But the items that he were listing were long tail. They were long tail items. Could have got a better cost for them, but he bought them, sold them, and they were out the door the same day. And it was that turnover. And it's like, wait, he wasn't picking up inferior items that weren't going to sell. He wasn't picking up the junk. He was buying the stuff right and being able to sell it immediately and getting that cash flow going. And it just, something clicked. And I thought, I get it. I understand the people that are dedicated to Whatnot and are selling on Whatnot, much like you and Dustin are doing. You know, you're buying that stuff right. You're turning a profit on it quickly. Sure, you could list a lot of those electronics and probably get a lot more money for them. And so that light kind of went off. And I thought, yes, I want to try that. And then as soon as I told Jill that, she was like, that opened up the floodgates. And she started, you know, she has so much stuff herself, just collected really great stuff in all kinds of categories. Right now, I'm in the garage sale category because I figured that would be the easiest. And I have a number of questions that maybe I'll ask you off the air. I don't know if this is the best platform to do some of that, but to get the opportunity to be entertaining and sell a few things and make a couple of extra dollars. That's what's happened. I've done 2 shows so far, and at the end, you know, I ship all this stuff out. I'm not up to that level where if you sell 1,000 things, then Whatnot pays you instantly. Oh, I am so close though. I am very, and only 2 shows. I'm only about 940 things away.
I was fixing to say, I was like, you've sold that many items?
No. Yeah, we've sold about 60 items or so in the couple of shows, which is phenomenal. To me, it was cool. And then you get that little, you know, you go to the thing and there's a little round circle for payouts, and it's like, hey, there's money in there, and that's my money, and that's you know, I get to have that. So that's why am I doing Whatnot? I'm doing it for the fun, for the community, and then to make some extra money. Right now, eBay is still my main platform that I'm trying to list on, and that keeps my bills paid. But if I can pay a couple of extra bills with Whatnot, why not?
Yeah, it is a different beast for sure. I know that we
Yes.
you know, we're in the, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but we're in the camp of, we want to turn that fast nickel instead of the slow dime.
Yes.
So we're okay with making $5, $3 on an item.
Yeah.
But if we're selling 100 items and making $5 or $3, we're okay with that. Because our payouts, you know, we buy stuff that week and we sell it that week. So we're okay with it. And a lot of the stuff that we buy, it's good quality items that would never sell on eBay because they're not name brand stuff.
Yes.
You know, it's no one's looking for a unbranded 3-in-1 wireless charger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Unless it's a Sony 3-in-1 wireless charger. But the item is still good. It's still beneficial. You would go on Amazon to buy it if it had great reviews.
Yes.
You know? So it's in this case, you're getting a little bit of a discount, a little cheaper than what you would buy it on Amazon, and you know, we can make money off of. We would never pick these items up if we were just selling on eBay.
Yeah,
because they would never sell.
Yeah, because people, just like you said, a 3-in-1 charger or a wireless headset or something like that. You're going to go on Amazon, and most of the time you're going to search for the cheap one anyway. As far as, you know, whatever those,
the best bang for your buck. It's I want the cheapest one, but the best quality for my buck and the best reviews. You know, you can't.
And they're able to then for the buyers, again, that I started, just the community. You know, I like to just sit and watch your show, Ray, you're entertaining. People are entertaining when you get, so you kind of get an entertainment and buy stuff at the same time. It's like watching QVC is what it is. Whatnot is like watching QVC. You have to get somebody to think I can absolutely not live without that 3-in-1 charger in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Or, whatever your build up or however long that you're.
Did you, not to cut you off, Ken,
Sure.
but did you watch and I missed your show, Cross America show, but I can't remember if you were in mine or not.
I was.
The one okay.
Yeah, I was there, partner. I was there the whole time you was doing your show.
Okay. I couldn't remember if you were or not, but like you were talking about the entertainment element of Whatnot.
Yes.
And you have these little special shows where you can just kind of like, I don't know, bring a little more, put a little more seasoning on it.
Yes.
And it's just fun to do. Not something that you would do all the time, but it would be fun to do.
Exactly. And that brings, especially in a train like that, people are going to see Ray, and that's fun. And they're going to go, oh, hey, this guy, I'm going to bookmark his show. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to come back. I'm a game guy. I'm a game guy from way back. I am super jealous of folks like Joe and Nicole from over at I'd Flip That.
Oh, I know, right?
Because that's my thing. Anything that I can do to make something an event, make a game out of it. And some of the stuff that you see on the Whatnot, people are doing these mystery games, and they're doing
crazy
these boxes and
so
all that
crazy.
stuff. And it keeps people entertained. It's fun. I think you can make a little extra money by doing that because people don't know the mystery, and they have the chance to win this big prize,
huge item. Yeah,
that you would never sell on a regular auction on Whatnot, on a 30-second auction. You wouldn't sell it, and you probably wouldn't put it in your buy it now or something. But if you can give that away because you've made money on these games, and my head spins with more fun stuff. I plan on doing a thing right now in all of my shows. Being the seasonal Santa, the last couple of things, what's in Santa's sack? It's a mystery sort of a thing. Each show I'm going to do something. It might be something that's holiday related. It might not be something like when we did the raid. What's in Santa's sack was an Ohio State Buckeyes, a vintage jersey that probably $50, $60. And it was just, did it as an auction.
Eddie George?
No, it was just a general Ohio State, like number 10 for the Big Ten and Ohio State, and then Buckeyes on the back and stuff like that. But still a vintage, brand new with tags, and was able to do that in Santa's mystery sack. And so, but I got all kinds of ideas for stuff that I want to do.
Those are fun. When you do that kind of stuff, it gets people entertained, like you said.
Yeah.
And gets people on the platform, but for sure. So Ken, you mentioned that you had a couple questions. Well, what kind of would you be interested in maybe asking some of those questions so the people at home can kind of learn from you, the position to where you are now and whatnot? Because there's, I'm going to do like a Q&A dedicated YouTube video. There's one video that I did on YouTube where I break down the fees of Whatnot and put it in in a spreadsheet so people can really understand the fees, because they can be a little bit confusing if you don't really know how it works. Yes. But a lot of people are asking a lot of really intriguing questions on there. So I think I'm going to do like a dedicated video of answering some of those questions, like shipping questions, printing label questions, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I actually have like a list of questions
Look
I've been
at you.
jotting. Not for the show, but that I've just been jotting down when I've had an opportunity to talk to, like I say, you have been helpful. Paul, Jen's Multiverse has been helpful, within the shows that I've had. And all of a sudden you you have a question. Man, the chat is just, Angie Resells has been helpful. I did a private show. I did a private show to begin with just so I could kind of learn to walk through Coco. Coco Loves Life from Coco and Chewy. Very helpful. Everybody, that whole community, even though it's funny, even though they're like YouTubers and I know them from YouTube, it's kind of, it's a whole shift in things when you're on the Whatnot side.
It's a different, yeah.
So like, okay, for example, do you want me to ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
Okay. I see a lot of people running shows where it says reduced shipping. They're going to do a reduced shipping show. And I see some that are like, pay like only $8.65 or something.
Yeah.
Is that something that I should do? Is that beneficial? If I'm only buying, and I haven't really paid attention, if I'm only buying one thing, am I paying that $8.65, or is it a combination of, if I buy 2 or 3 things, I'm only going to pay that? And then who pays the extra?
Yeah, like if you buy more, it's only going to be 8 whatever. So like in your shipping you can make in Whatnot, you can create different shipping profiles within Whatnot. So in that case, I think what's going on, and I've never done it before just because the items that I have are a lot bigger. But say you're doing a show to where, say you're just selling like Lego minifigs or sports cards where literally you can buy like 100 sports cards and you can throw them in a large flat rate box or, you know, something like that. So it's got a little thing on Whatnot to where you can select priority, you know, flat rate box that you can pick from. And then you can toggle it to where it's like buyer only pays up to this amount. But if the weight actually exceeds that box, then the seller is actually out of that money.
Okay. That was one of my questions. If a person buys a bunch from you and let's say they have $15 shipping, are you responsible then as the seller for that other whatever, $6, $7?
You're responsible for the seller. You're responsible. So I guess what that does is that Whatnot will, it's kind of like when you do a giveaway, like you'll see in your shipping, you'll see a negative balance or what was the charge of the shipping to do the giveaway.
Yes.
So that number will increase because, or the number would be higher because you know, the buyer paid, you know, bought a bunch of stuff. So that $8 really you're paying $15. So it'll charge you for that.
And I guess that strategy is that mindset. Strategy of it is the mindset of the buyer going, I'm just going to keep buying that because now my shipping is basically free at that point. Or, and as the seller, then I guess the strategy is let's get the people to buy enough stuff. If I can sell it as a high enough cost, it's going to offset that extra that I have to pay anyway.
Correct. And then,
and so
like any good reseller, you make the money in the buy. So if you know that you're buying, you know, really good stuff at low cost, you can do stuff like that to negate your shipping cost or whatever.
That's what I'm looking forward to. You know, right now I've been doing inventory, or that I'm going to be selling is inventory that I either got from Jill or things that I already had that either hasn't been listed on eBay yet. And I say, oh, this would be a good, you know, Whatnot item. I can sell this. I had low costs in it. But I'm really looking forward to, I have to kind of change my mindset a little bit when I'm out I'm going to have 2 mindsets when I'm out at the yard sales. Yard sale season is just kind of getting started right here. And it's going to be, you know, buying those items to sell on my eBay platform where I'm buying them right. Everything, I agree. It all starts in the buy to make your money. But then also kind of going through the sale twice almost, once as an eBay seller and once as a Whatnot seller, just to see the differences and what I can find. And
I'm going through that same boat too, Ken, because this will be the first yard sale season where I'm selling on Whatnot and on eBay. Right now, my strategy with, you know, because the majority of the stuff that I get is from the Amazon bin. So anything that I know is like really like $50 and up is going on eBay. And really, I want to find stuff that's like $100 and up and go on eBay. So it's like if I get a notification on my eBay that something sold, I know it's like at least $100.
Going to be a good item. Yeah.
It's going to be a good item. So, but not everyone has, that stuff around them. And so, same when you go to yard sales, I guess, when, you'll look for, it's like, oh, this is just like a Tervis cup.
Yeah.
That's got, I don't know, like a Ohio State Buckeyes Tervis cup that really is not going to sell on eBay that well, because there's like a billion of them. But if I can get it for 50 cents, I'm gonna sell on a Whatnot and start at like $3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. I actually gave away an Ohio State Tervis tumbler, brand new, on my my raid show there during the thing. That was one of the giveaway items.
What are the odds?
So very cool. So there's a lot of different strategies. So that reduced shipping was one of the questions that I had. I see people doing it, and the question was who pays that extra shipping? Yeah. Now that I know that it's me, that'll make some, am I wanting to entice those buyers, or am I wanting to spend a little more on that back end, I guess? Mm-hmm. Let me see what are some other questions that I might have here. Categories. I'm in the garage sale category. Now, I saw when you were talking with the two Terrys, 2 episodes back, and shout out to Danielle from Yard Sales and Dreams on the last episode.
Wasn't that good?
Love me some Dan. Yeah, very good episode. I enjoyed. I was actually watching that last night while I was working, prepping for my show and doing some
listing. She can talk. She's got some stories, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. A seasoned seller, and not too far from my area. She's northern Kentucky.
Hey, if you want some comic books, Ken, she's got plenty to buy.
I saw that. Well, I can't believe I'm not sure how I did not meet her at the reseller rally.
At the rally?
I don't know, because I introduced myself. I'm around to everybody.
You probably did at some point and you just forgot about it.
Just don't remember. But but you were talking with the Terrys about category, how you've built yourself up in the electronics category. Mm-hmm. And then now you're moving over to the garage sale with your raid train that you do on Thursdays, and how it's almost like a struggle starting over.
Yeah.
And I found that very interesting that people, it must be that on Whatnot, people say there's that balance between, they're not necessarily following Ray, they're following a category. Correct. And now Nashville Flippers is selling in this category. And I found that very interesting, because one of my questions was, I'm going to be a garage sale and everything seller, but let's say when Jill and I are doing a show that is all clothing sort of items, got a lot of really good clothing from Jill, or all like different handbags or different jewelry or different, I'm going to do some all plush, all hats, all sports stuff. Should I be listing those in, I don't know if there's like I see a lot of ladies selling that women's contemporary, the clothing and stuff like that. If I am doing a show, should I be listing it in that category? If I'm doing all hats, all, trucker hat style stuff, should I be listing it in a category
where the hats would sell, like what category, like men's contemporary or whatever, or vintage, or I don't know. That's a great question. For clothing, I'm not too sure. I know that I used to do a lot of Lego minifig shows.
Yeah.
So I would do those in the Lego category. Okay. And then whenever I did like some trading card shows, I would do those in the trading card category. But those would just be like one-offs. Okay. But I'm struggling in the garage sale category, Ken. Like a lot of people don't know necessarily like who am I or whatever. Yeah. Like this Thursday on our raid train, I'm going to have our yard sale raid train in the electronics category.
Okay.
And just sell some electronics and some garage sale items.
Okay.
So hopefully that can negate some of the costs and make me go back up to where I need to be to make a little bit more money. But
Yeah.
I don't
Because I
know.
know that you were saying that, when you were running in your electronic show that you do normally on your Saturdays in that category, that you do well.
Yeah.
But when you were in your garage sale shows, your electronics were like, people weren't
Well, they weren't even bidding on
interested.
them. Yeah.
That makes me think that people are in Whatnot, perhaps are searching more by category and not by
The seller or who it
the
is.
seller, who they're following,
Correct.
or whatever.
I used to, until I started selling on the garage sale category, and I just looked at this. The categories that are on the top of the app that you see,
Yes.
the garage sale one wasn't even there.
Okay.
So like right now you have your For You, you're followed by host, and then I have electronics, everyday electronics, toys and hobby, plush, and action figures. So I don't know if yours are the same or if they're different.
Let's see. Well, all I have at the top of my app is For You
Yeah.
and followed hosts.
You don't have any of the other, like if you scroll?
No, you can't scroll.
Like right there?
So that's...
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's the top of mine. Now you're using an iPhone, right?
Correct. But you see how mine's...
Yes, I do see all of those categories. Yeah, all I have is For You and followed hosts. And let me see if I change. Now I can go to a next page and customize my interests. Maybe I haven't done some of that.
Maybe that's what happened.
Browse sell activity. I can browse by, if I go to the browse button that's at the bottom, I see, trading cards, sports cards, toys and hobbies. And let's see how far it does. It is at the very bottom of the first screen.
Oh, yeah, you have to hit the follow. Okay, I see what's going on now.
Okay, so let me see if I do follow that. Now I go back to home. Yeah, okay. So now it shows up at the top. I followed the estate sales so that was there. I learned something. I learned something about the app.
I didn't know that. I thought that it was just like the things that you liked or sell on that they automatically get put into that little carousel thing.
So there's probably a lot of people that may not either know that, or they may not also, they've just, I like sports cards. I like, women's clothing or handbags or whatever. And that's what they have. And those are the only shows they're going to go and see who's in. Exactly. As a buyer too, there's this strategy too, to buying stuff right on Whatnot. You can go into a show that maybe has a low viewer count.
Oh yeah.
And pick up really good deals. Maybe not, and maybe it's not because the seller's not a good seller, or that they're not entertaining, or that they don't have a big following. It's just that particular show at that time, and you can steal a bunch of stuff. And and again, I have those realistic expectations that it's going to take a little while to grow, to maybe get a good following.
It took us a whole year with no help in the electronic. Yeah. It's not like it is like with all these people, helping and in the garage sale category, the electronics category. It's not like that at all.
So, I know that I'm going to have shows that are going to be a struggle, that are going to have, 3, 4, 8 people in it. And you're going to have to give away some stuff. Not as a giveaway, but you're going to have to...
As long as the right 3 or 8 people, you'll be all right.
Well, that's true. If you can get some people bidding against one another, or that are there for the things that you have. And I guess that's what's in a specific category. Most of the time, people that are not your regular followers, they're there for electronics. They came to an electronic show to get electronics.
Correct.
Where in the garage sale category, you're going to maybe get some plush. You're going to get some glassware. You're going to get some, vinyl albums or something like that. You never know, because it is such a wide open category. But again, I'm in it mainly to have fun, to just be part in that community as well. And at the end of a show, if I made some extra money, it's money that I didn't have before I started that show. I would assume that at the beginning,
money that's just sitting there in a pile somewhere in Jill's garage.
Exactly. But delusions of grandeur, Ray, delusions of grandeur say that Ken's going to do his show and
that might you know what? There's a good chance that will happen, Ken.
And you never know. I think that's I don't get down a whole lot about negativity and negative comments. If I'm in a show and there's nobody there, and maybe it's that time of day, maybe it's what I'm not going to take it personally, unless you do it over and over and over and over and nobody ever comes. And you switch around, there's different days, different times, somebody's selling something on Whatnot all the time.
All the time.
And 24 hours a day. And so that was that reduced shipping. Here's just a question that I had.
Okay.
That's a general one. So I've sort of, when I'm looking at my app or when I'm online, and you have your active items, and you have your inactive items, and you have your sold items, okay, that you can look at. Why are all of the sold items that have been shipped and delivered and been paid on, why are they still in an inactive tab?
Like if they've already been shipped.
They've already been shipped and they're delivered.
I always have to hit confirm drop off.
Yes.
And you've done that and they're inactive?
Everything is been dropped off, but everything that I've sold pretty much at this point, because I only did the 2 shows so far, and everything has been shipped. Almost.
You're talking about under shipments?
Yeah. Let me tell you exactly where that's at. Shipments. Let's do under. I believe it's going to be under listings. Under listings, I have my active. Now I'm looking on my PC here.
Okay.
I have my active items that are things that are currently like in my buy it now.
Yeah.
Including my original headshot that I have in there for a framed sign for a mere $100.
I think inactive, anything that you've sold or didn't sell just goes in there.
Okay. Is there any reason for me to keep that?
No.
And if I delete that on the inactive, will they go away out of the sold tab? Because the sold tab, I want to keep that.
They shouldn't.
And
why are you looking? What's the purpose of you looking under your listings?
That's where I would create a listing if I was doing it. Okay, so on that page right there, that's the page I'm looking at. Create a listing, and if I'm going to create a listing,
you do everything on your PC.
I have so far.
Okay, because I have never created a listing on my computer.
Okay,
like
you do them all.
I've never even done it on here this way. So like, if I were to do it, I would go to the show. Well, hold on. And the people that are listening, I'm doing an example here on the screen on YouTube. So come over for that. So like, for example, we have a show on Thursday. And this is the home screen Nashville Flippers on Whatnot. I click on the show that we're doing tomorrow, or this time today, and then on here, I would just go to, like, for instance, I don't have anything under the buy it now, right?
Yeah.
So I would just go down here to add, and then quick add, and then I have stuff in the, like, I can't, I would just put all the stuff on here, but I do it all on my phone.
Where do you add your, is there a spot? Okay. Add photos. So there you're going to click the photo, and then are you going to take the photo right then of the item as you're listing it?
Or what I usually do, Ken, and this is kind of, a good way for me to save time, because I do like to preload all my items, which in this case, they're not all preloaded. But I usually like to do them, at least a day before. But this week I'm struggling. But
Gotcha.
I usually take a picture of my phone of the items that I want to. I take 2 pictures, Ken. The picture of the item that I want to sell, and the picture of the item on the scale.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'll take, how many pictures that I want on the show, and then just throughout the week or throughout the day, I'm just like uploading stuff on Whatnot, because it's all the pictures are already on my phone, just like the same that you're doing on eBay.
Yeah. Yes. And that's one thing I have to get. I have to switch that mindset when I'm on Whatnot. Although one of my worst aspects is I hate taking photographs, like say for listing on eBay and stuff.
Well, you only have to take one.
I know, Ray.
You don't even have to take a picture. Like a lot of people, like for instance, like with me, I did a show. It's been a while back to where I had a lot of video games. So it was like I had a lot of Xbox games. I had like a lot of PS3 games and a lot of whatever the other game was, right?
Yeah.
So I knew I had like so many Xbox games. So it's like I took one picture of the stack of Xbox games and I put quantity 25, and they all weigh the same because they're all Xbox games. Yeah. And then it says Xbox game number 1, Xbox game number 2, or whatever. So you have 30 things that you're selling, but you're only making one listing with,
one listing that saves time. But doesn't that during the actual show? Now you have a lot of times when you're doing your show, you have Dustin that's there helping you at certain times. But when you're doing
not all the time.
Single show, not all the time. Don't you have to, like, if you sell Xbox game number 1 and Bob Jones buys it, you have to somehow mark that like number 1,
correct,
so that this was game number 1 that went out, and so the next one, you're selling a Star Wars game and Mary Smith buys it, you have to mark that. So you're kind of having to do that organization, where if you had time beforehand, if you would have taken a picture of each of those and listed them individually, then it shows up when you go to your shipping.
Correct. So
you don't have to keep track of.
Yeah, correct.
I'm asking for best strategy.
If you're saving time, if you have one of a lot of things, like for example, I did a Squishmallow show.
Yes.
Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I had 30 Squishmallows. So one sells, is buyer's choice, Squishmallow show.
Yeah.
Terry wants the Mickey Mouse Squishmallow. She wins it, right? And it's like Squishmallow number 3. I just take some blue tape, write number 3 on it on a pen, and just stick it on there, and that's it. Which it does save. That way, it does save more. It does save more time than listing them individually, because you're doing, if you're listing them individually, you're taking 2 steps, which is taking the individual picture and then listing the item.
Yes.
And in this case, you're only listing the item, but then I guess it's the same as 2 steps, but I feel like it is a lot quicker.
Plus, if you're doing that buyer's choice format, you never know. If you have a listing individually of each of the plus, you're not running that item at that time. You're not running the Squishmallow right then. So it would have to be a buyer's choice quantity of, you got 30 Squishmallows and people buy, they tell you what you want, and then you would have to market at that point. So yeah, those are the types of things that over time and asking questions and kind of thinking it through is what's going to be number 1, the quickest way to list stuff and get a show up and going. Getting out of that mindset. Now I think I've got it through my crazy brain here that I think if I'm going to put something in the buy it now that somebody is going to buy that maybe I'm not going to be explaining, I might want a couple of extra pictures. If not there's anything in the description.
It depends on what it is and how much you're selling it for. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So like for instance, like my Ric Flair figure that's up right now, it's the Ric Flair figure. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, this is what you're going to get. This is what it is, and go from there. But yeah, like if you have in the buy it now, and if you have it for, you know, more than you're usually, you know, usually selling it for,
you might want to have some extra. And then it's, you know, understanding that if I'm going to list the items with photos for the auction style, I need to, just one picture, because I'm going to be explaining it. I'm going to be showing it. I'm going to be showing if there's any sort of a flaw. They're going to be able to see the size. They're going to be able to do whatever. And so it's a right now is that I'm totally annoyed by the music.
You are annoyed by the music?
In a lot of shows, that's the one thing. It's like I'll click on a show, and if I'm hearing more music than I'm hearing the person, boom, I'm gone. Even if I like the person, it's to me, and I know that that's one of the things. Like when you did your whatnot onboarding and you watched, you know, the videos and stuff that they recommended to do music in the background. I think if I've watched a ton of different shows because I watch a lot of different whatnot channels now. I've been just to see what people are doing different. You know, I like to watch all my friends. I like to watch the people that I follow, but I know what style that you're doing. I know what style that Jen or Paul or the Terrys or somebody are doing. I'm going out and I'm just picking random shows. What is this person doing? And I don't know. Some of the shows, it's like, I'll never be that good. And other shows, I'm like, there's no possible way I could be this bad. It's just, I'm not dinging on people or whatever. And people are obviously selling stuff and they're on there. But, you know, I think if you're not hyping your Ma Ying long musk hemorrhoid ointment that came, this all of a sudden showed up to me one day in a package.
I don't know where it came from.
But if you're not hyping that, it's, you know, I'll see a number of people that'll go, oh, hey, we got the hemorrhoid ointment right here. Okay, let's run that.
And just wait. Yeah. You got to be a salesman.
Come on, make someone feel that their backside is in need. They have to have this. But anyway, and then all it is just blaring music the whole time. You know, and
you know, I like to play music on my shows, Ken. So
yes, no, and I'm not okay. Here's the next thing too. The fellow that you just had up on there, that style of music is not my style of music.
Could you hear that?
Just sounds. Oh, it was blaring in my headphone.
Okay.
It was.
I muted it after a while because I don't like it either.
but say if I'm watching your show, we've got some similar tastes in music, obviously, because your playlist is at a reasonable level to where if you are on a pause or something like that, you can hear it. Paul, Dan in Demand is super entertaining, you know, has some music on there. And as long as the playlist is something fun and popular and it's at that level to where all of a sudden, like Ray, I've seen you all of a sudden, if you're singing along with a song, you know, it gets people into the, oh yeah, that's a great tune, and they hear that. It can be effective, but most of the people have it way too loud. Maybe I'm just old. People have it way too loud.
I agree.
And it's annoying and it drowns out what they're trying to do. I'm not trying to be a DJ and entertaining you with my music. I want you to buy.
You ever been a DJ, Ken?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
That was back in the day. DJ Craft MC. I was Craft MC. I was the cheesiest DJ out there on the circuit. But yeah, I did. Well, that's where my name sskpromo kind of came from. Well, afterwards, after my DJ career. But yeah, I used to do that. Weddings and parties, graduations, all kinds of stuff. Back, I don't even know, probably late 90s, early 90s, mid 90s, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. So, but
I just got a text from Kristen, a Rural Squirrel. She said,
yes.
Ray, your show is scheduled for 9 a.m. instead of 9 p.m.
Oh.
So.
Got to fix that.
Just
See?
fix. Yeah, because that would have been.
Friends helping friends. I love Kristen, too. Kristen is about the most bubbly personality that you could have. Always helpful and stuff. Let me see. Okay. You want one more question?
One more. We'll call it a night. Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
When I am actually doing my shipping, okay, I know that I'm weighing those items ahead of time so that Whatnot knows what it is, but it always comes up and basically defaults to a 12 by 12 by 12 box, and whatever weight that it thinks it is. Should I be, if I'm shipping then that item out in a 8 by 6 by 4 or whatever, should I be changing that box size?
You can, but I don't think it really matter. I don't think it matters.
I mean, it's already been paid for, and I guess only a lot of my stuff so far has gone out Ground Advantage. There are some when people have ordered multiple things, it gets into like a priority mail.
Which I know that I've recently changed to where everything goes out priority. Okay. So I can utilize the free priority boxes.
Okay.
Instead of except for I think maybe like sports cards, which you can send those out like in a regular envelope if they're under $20. So
does that make it more expensive for the buyer though?
It does, shipping? But it gets them to get free shipping sooner, I believe. Does that make sense? Because if you're
doing like that reduced shipping show at the $8.65, they're buying one item,
or even not even then, because they know that it's like, okay, it's going for priority, and it's gonna get I think it gets to that free shipping a little quicker.
Gotcha. See, there's all kinds of strategies.
Because, once you start selling a lot of items, Ken, you're going to have to start buying a lot of boxes.
Yes.
And let's try to utilize those free boxes as much as possible. Those number 7
laid in
USPS boxes, man, are those a game changer.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Good size box. And I've used some of them, and I have a number right now of USPS priority boxes, because I had just laid in a good supply of them before USPS introduced the Ground Advantage. And then I kind of stopped using them on eBay sales. Most everything went Ground Advantage. So right now I have a good supply of USPS. But it's also, the very first show that I had, it was like sold like 56 items or whatever. I've never shipped out that, but it wasn't 56 packages. There was a lot of multiple orders and stuff. But yeah, it's a whole new strategy.
I was just looking at my shipping profile. So it's got on here that under 3 ounces, you can put it in a USPS first class mailer. And you have to toggle that on. So make sure you turn that on. And then for domestic shipping from 1 to 5 pounds, you can use USPS priority mail, which you can use the free priority boxes, or you can do USPS flat rate boxes. So that's where that $8 or whatever, shipping, because you can, a large flat, like a medium flat rate or a bubble mailer or something like that. And then over 5 pounds, you can do USPS priority mail, USPS flat rate box, or USPS ground advantage. So that's actually what I changed, because anytime it was going over 5 pounds, it would go ground advantage.
Yes.
Which I'm like, oh man, this could have easily fit in a number 7 box, but now I got to put it in a brown box.
I ran into that after my first show. I packaged everything up, and it's like, oh, all of this stuff. Well, Jill, actually, this one box, she masterfully packed everything. We got it into the number 7 priority mail, slapped a label on, took all my packages to the counter they were scanning, and it was a ground advantage label. So I had to go take the box back home, repackage it, and it wouldn't let me change it. It wouldn't let me change it to priority at that point.
Because you already printed out the label. I'm sure if you didn't, you could probably do it to priority, but they would charge you the difference.
Yeah. So I did get that fixed, and then had to go back to the post office. That was a bummer. But anyway, so many different strategies. Super excited about starting and doing the whatnot.
If you were a terrible reseller, Ken, you could have easily grabbed a large poly mailer and just put it over top the priority box, and you would
bag in a box. Let's wrap that in a black plastic garbage bag, put a bunch of tape on it, and send it out that way.
Do you remember when the USPS priority boxes used to be blank on the inside?
They were always printed since I've been selling here.
Okay, so when I started selling, they used to be blank on the inside. Now, now it says USPS priority.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would just turn them inside out and then use them that way.
Yes. It's, I hope, over time, now I'm a rule follower, Ray. I'm a rule follower. I'm never going to use my priority boxes or free priority supplies to try to.
That's right. Or use the priority bubble mailers as bubble wrap.
Yes.
For any of your insight.
I'm gonna I follow the up and up, but people will ruin it for everybody else. And anyway, so
there you go.
Super excited.
But guys, so Ken, that's pretty much it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We need to do this again. We just need to have a Ray and Ken hour every month.
I love it.
Yeah, and just to talk about eclipses and sci-fi end of the world strategies. So
love it.
As a millennial, Ken, I've survived many end of the world events.
Yes.
Y2K 2012.
It's there.
Do
you remember seeing Halley's Comet or the Hale-Bopp Comet? They weren't world ending, but they were.
Okay.
They were events that I'll never see again in my lifetime.
9/11,
yes.
COVID, 2 eclipses now.
See, we have tons to talk about.
Recession.
Yeah, I know. It's
been a wild ride, man.
You survived probably, that Macari is now going to charge the buyers for, which
is
another apparently a world-ending event.
I'm still on the fence about that decision. Like, I don't like, it's just so weird to me. And, passing the fees on to the buyer, which, if you actually go to buy in an actual auction, there is like a buyer's fee on there. But it's just weird that it's like, what, I get what why they're doing it, and they're getting press and they're making more money. And I just hope that none of the other reselling platforms follow suit to where now the buyer is charging a premium.
Yeah,
man.
it'll all
It's a crazy
shake out.
world.
When you said ending of the world, you know, any little change in anything in this reselling community, at least when you watch from the YouTube side, is it's the end of the world. It's the apocalypse. It just cracks me up to watch everything. And
do you remember when Whatnot first started? If you were to buy one thing, the rest of your items would have been free shipping.
yes.
How
Yes.
crazy was that time?
That was well, and it's how Whatnot, I think, built their platform and got their buyers. It was like they spent that money in the beginning. They got high profile sellers to be on there. They offered that shipping to suck all the buyers in, and now look, Whatnot is, I feel, a legitimate platform. It's not a platform for everybody to sell on. It's a great platform for everybody to buy on because you can get really good deals. And you know, I'm working it into my business model. And like I say, in the end, it gives me an outlet to be hopefully entertaining and make a couple of extra dollars. So
there you go, guys. That's all we ask. We just want to make a couple extra bucks, Ken.
Yes, sir. That's
there
it.
You go. Well, Ken, my friend, thank you so much for coming on. Next time I see you, we're going to be meeting in person. So that's exciting.
Can't wait. Give my buddy Ray a handshake.
Good old handshake.
Party handshake.
Good old banana Laffy Taffy handshake.
I know Jill, that's one thing she's looking forward to, a big Ray hug. That's one of the things that she said. She wants to get a big hug from Ray and meet all the other resellers, either rekindle friendships with folks that I haven't seen, that I have met at other events, and then just make a lot of new friends, a lot of new connections, and it's just going to be fun. I think this sums it up right here.
Hey, Nashville, y'all!
Nashville, y'all! Right there.
There you go, guys.
April the 26th through the 28th, Nashville's newest tradition. What more can I say?
Tell him, Ken. There you go.
That's it, right there.
Well, guys, thank you all so much for listening and watching the podcast. Make sure to leave a 5-star review, and make sure you follow my good friend Ken, sskpromo, on all his social media and reselling adventures down in the description below. Anything else for the people, Ken?
That's all I got. You know, I always like to end stuff a lot of times with, everyone have a great day and a profitable tomorrow.
There you go. Well, guys, my name is Ray.
I'm Ken. sskpromo, Mr. Bill.
There you go. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care and God bless. Peace.